Hello, and welcome to ACC Studio B and the Austin Media Center here at the ACC Highland campus. My name is Gaynor. I work for the Office of Student Life, and I'm super excited to welcome some of our student racers from the amazing race Riverbat Edition. The event involved 12 teams of 2 racing around the entire ACC serving district, visiting 14 locations and completing 16 tasks over 3 days. Students competed for prizes that they won at the end of the race, which included monetary awards as well as fabulous donations from businesses here in the Austin community. The goal of the event was to immerse racers in the experience of being a student in a program different from their own, or to take classes at any of our 11 ACC campuses. By navigating the maze of our district and becoming familiar with new ACC resources, this event provided our teams with the opportunity to explore paths outside of their chosen academic fields. It was quite the weekend and experience, and today we're going to hear directly from our racing teams about how it all went down and how it feels to have been a part of the inaugural race with Student Life. All right, welcome racers. Hello everybody. Let's go ahead and have all of y'all introduce yourselves. Let's start with Team 12.
All right, so we are Team 12. My name is AJ Benjamin, and this is Gabriel Munoz. Yeah. And we came in second place.
Awesome, thank you. Team 11.
My name is Chris Espinoza, and this is my sister Sophie. We're Team 11, and we finished 4th place in the Amazing Race.
Awesome.
Hi everybody, my name is Jacqueline. We are Team 9, and this is Regard, and we placed 6th.
Hey everybody, this is Isaac, and this is Joseph right here with Team 10, and we finished 1st place.
Awesome, thank you. Well, welcome. Thanks for everybody for being here. We're going to jump in and kind of talk about the preparation and like even starting the race before it even started. So Team 12, can you tell me what made you even select your racing partner to begin with?
Okay, so it was kind of my idea. I saw it and I thought this would be really cool to do, and based off of some like the things I had done with Gabriel in the past, I thought we would be a good team to work together. And so we were at a friend's birthday party, and I was just like, Gabriel, do you want to do this with me? He was like, sure.
I just thought it would be something fun to get out of the house, do something, explore the campuses, actually having classes there. Other than that, I thought it was just going to be fun, like racing and stuff, doing challenges. Other than that, pretty good.
Awesome. And can y'all speak to the application process, like submitting the application together?
That part, I guess, was pretty easy. We just was over texting, like, hey, what's this? We need this and that. And we just kind of went back and forth, filling it out, and then completed it.
Oh, awesome. Cool. And Team 11, I know y'all are super close. Y'all are siblings. You even have like your own special handshake that we got to see at some point. Yep. So that's super cool. During the experience of the race and things like that, did you learn anything new about your partner?
Unfortunately, not really, but that's also a good thing too. I mean, it shows how close we are we didn't even learn anything new. Mm-hmm. So it just shows that like we just already know each other and know our capabilities and our weaknesses. But what was pretty surprising is that because we're brother and sister, I thought we were gonna have like a tough time because it was there were some areas that were pretty stressful, but overall it was actually pretty chill. I had a lot of fun being with my sister the whole entire time. I honestly could not have like a better partner for this.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm the one who kind of got him into this. I saw the video of the promoting the Amazing Race, and I just called my brother from the other room, and I was just like, hey, like, I don't know if you want to do this, but I think it would be fun. And he's going to transfer soon, and so it was another adventure we could have before he moves away and stuff. But the challenges were a lot of fun. It was a great reminder of just like take a deep breath and, have confidence in your siblings, because going into this, our main goal was to kind of show people like siblings don't always have to be fighting. Mm-hmm. We always come across like siblings, especially brother and sister, always like at each other's throats and just yelling at each other, and we've never had that. So we really wanted to show people like, hey, like your siblings can be like your best friends and everything like that. and he really is my best friend. Like, we've always been close, and I'm really happy that I got to do this with him. I don't think we could have gotten 4th place, or I could have gotten 4th place if I was with another person. No offense to my friends. But yeah, it was a fun experience, and I'm really glad I did it with him.
Well, I can definitely confirm that y'all rarely fight. At least I see. I didn't see y'all fighting in the race. Anyone else see any? No? Yeah. So you got that mission across. So good
Yeah,
go.
there's a few some of our last challenges, I'm not gonna lie, we were just all like, okay, we just need to take a deep breath and like, you got this and everything. And it was just overall a great reminder, like, just have faith in your partner and everything like that. So yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Yay. All right. And Team 10, was there anything that you did beforehand to kind of prepare for the race going into it?
I mean, personally, I just tried to stay in shape, cardio, just basic stuff. I mean, but if you're talking about why we got into the race, I saw the name of the race, and me and my family have always been huge fans of the show. I've seen almost every season. So immediately, I need to do this. And I want to win. I'm competitive. So I'm like, okay, this guy, I'm a psychology major, and so I lack that kind of physical, mathematical kind of thing. I'm like, well, this guy's got everything that I lack. And it also just happens to be like my brother. Like, this is, brother from another mother. So it's just perfect. I wouldn't want to race with anyone else because I know he's incredibly capable. I know we can get along. I know it's just going to be a blast. And it was. He ended up picking up all the challenges I knew I just couldn't do, the riddles, the math, the chemistry. And it worked out super well, clearly. But yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to run this race with anybody else but Isaac here because this is just my guy. So I saw the race and I immediately called him up. And I was like, hey, we got to do this. And he was like, yeah, sure. And so I actually filled out almost the entirety of the form by myself, just for him.
And he was right.
It was pretty accurate, for the record. But yeah, it just ended up being a lot of fun. So I kind of roped him into it. But I know he enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was great at the end. But I had only really heard of The Amazing Race before. I hadn't really watched it. And his family is almost mega fans. You've watched every season multiple times. Okay, close enough. So he brought it up to me, and I thought it'd just be fun. And there's prizes as well, so maybe it is worth weekends of prep and all that. And it ended up being absolutely incredible, and it was absolutely worth it.
Awesome.
So
cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then can you all speak to kind of the boot camp meetings that we did beforehand and how that helped prepare you, if it did?
Yeah. There was a lot of information there that was really good because I was nervous about going into it. Because, again, I knew about The Amazing Race, but it was like, what's actually going to be happening? And I know there's going to be, like, cameras and everything, and there's a lot of sensitive stuff with that. So what is going to be happening? And it was covered really well. And we had 2 boot camps as well. So the really important stuff was restated, like, a month, 3 weeks before the actual race. So it was really good. It was really helpful, and I enjoyed it. It also got us to meet some of these guys over here, so we knew the people we were actually racing with, and they made it a little bit more personal in the competition, but also easier to support them as well. So if you have anything.
Yeah, the boot camps really kind of made it real. It was like, okay, this is actually happening. And being the fan that I am, I sat down with him and then also kind of some of them, and I was like, okay, guys, I know how this show works. I know that Kenley has seen the show, so she's probably going to follow along with it. So I'm like, we need to get some sort of an alliance going. We can help each other out. And we did. It was Team Azul, as we called it now, all the blue teams. And it ended up working out really well, as we all got, won 1st through 4th, which is just amazing. And then I'm also like, I sit down with him, the night before, and I'm like, hey, this is what's going to happen. The last challenge is going to be a memory challenge. Guarantee it. And so we write down everything. So we were able to get through that challenge so fast. I'm like, this is what happens here. We got to get ready for this. Most of these things ended up coming true. And I was trying to share that with, a little team here. It ended up just working out so much fun. So as a fan, it was like, this is just so cool seeing all these things and getting to live them, which is just awesome.
Well, it's cool to hear because I'm also a super fan. You guessed right. And so it's cool to hear that it mimics the race nicely. Yeah. So that's awesome. Cool. Thank y'all. Okay. So like I mentioned, we did 16 tasks over 3 days. That's quite a bit if you think about it, right? And I know I had so much fun crafting the tasks with our amazing collaborators in all the academic fields. But I kind of want to talk about what y'all thought was your favorite tasks each day. So let's start with Team 9, Friday. So that was kind of like the North Reach focused on. What was your favorite tasks on Friday?
You're talking about the first day, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So for the first day, I think my favorite challenge was the farm one, definitely. Just because I kind of was already expecting it because I already knew a little bit about Elgin, and I knew that like going into there that it'd have something to do with being out in like the field. And it was just the most interactive, I think, being able to get out of my comfort zone and do something that I haven't done before, like picking our own crops and then having to wash them and then going in and making a salad. Like all of those things weren't like things I have done before. And I was not a salad person. I've never been a salad person, so it was really hard to like go in there and act like I like salad. But it was definitely my favorite just because of that idea of like the openness. It like really prepared me for other challenges, knowing that they would be just as immersive. So that one was my favorite one. So what was your favorite one?
Honestly, I would say the Elgin one too,
Yeah.
even though I didn't get to do it. But I guess because it was the first challenge of the day, and just like get into our Jackie, and I'm like, yeah, Jackie, go all the time trying to hype her up. And, you know, she did an amazing job. I was just really excited, and I was really nervous at the same time because I didn't want to do the first one. I didn't know what it was going to be, and Jackie was like, I got it. Like, I will go first. So I feel like that was, because it's the first one, that was got us really excited.
Cool. Well, it sounds like y'all communicated well together, at least for that first one. I know for the whole race too, but yeah, that's awesome. Any other things about Friday that were really memorable? That's the first leg of the race.
I will say the moment we read farm to table, we kind of looked at each other and I was just like, yeah, I'll do it. Like I was super excited because farm to table, like I kind of just knew like, oh, that has to be like cooking or something. And so my brother's just like, go do it. I trust in you. And so I ran. I tried to run really fast as I could. I did end up grabbing not a head of lettuce, which I was so ashamed of myself, but at least I got there eventually.
What did you grab? Do you know
I
what it was?
no idea. I don't know.
A root or something. I don't. It was. I don't know what it was.
I don't know. I was just like, this has leaves. Maybe it will work. But then one of the volunteers there was just like, that's not a head of lettuce, and I was just like, maybe if you imagine, it could be a head of lettuce, But yeah, Friday was super fun. A lot of like great challenges, and we obviously had a favorite.
Yeah.
Because we used our sibling mind waves to communicate with this one, which is the last one, the surgery. Big word, don't know how to pronounce it.
I think it's laparoscopic.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
job. Uh-huh.
And I'm not a medical person at all, but he is, and so I let him really handle most of that, but we really worked together as a team on that one and did it really fast.
Yeah, that surgery challenge was by far not just my favorite for the day, but my favorite out of the whole race. I was really excited to see it because I'm a biomedical engineer major, and I am a huge fan of anatomy. Like my parents got me my first anatomy book when I was like 7, so I love everything about it, and I wanted to be a surgeon in the future, but in my mind, I kind of psych myself out, and I just think, nah, I probably can't do it. But then when I did that challenge, it felt so natural to me. Like, even though everything was inverse, like if you go left, you're actually gonna go right on the camera. I was brought up to speed in like no time. So I just really loved it. It felt fun. It felt like I was accomplishing something in such an efficient way. And so once we were done, I was like, oh, wow, that is something I kind of actually want to look more into, Something that I think could actually, I don't know, maybe revise my career choices or something I can do after I get a bachelor's in biomedical engineering. So it just gave me a lot to think about.
Yeah, oh, I'm so glad. That was definitely the goal, is to like open y'all's minds and kind of see what else you could experience during your time here at ACC, and then in the future beyond ACC, right? So that's really awesome to hear. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty, let's move on to the second leg of the day. Team 12. Do you have something to say about Friday?
Yeah,
Okay, go
Friday.
ahead. Yeah.
So I think we were one of 2 teams to do the calligraphy challenge at Northridge on Friday, and that was really cool. That was definitely my favorite challenge that day because we had never done something like that before, and it was very cool to like be painting. I mean, like painting these characters with a brush and ink and stuff. and I love trying things I've never done before. And so, yeah. Did you have anything?
What's it called? I recommended calligraphy because one of my middle school years I took art class and we had like unit on English calligraphy. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be easy. Why don't we just do this? It's just like copying with like a flat chisel. Like, it was not a flat chisel. I will say that it was a brush. But even though I got it down pretty quickly, I had lots of fun doing it. It was pretty fun just tracing and then copying and then doing it by yourself. Other than messing up the strokes a couple of times, I think we did pretty good on that one.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. Let's talk about the second leg of the race. So that was Saturday. So that was the Hayes campus, South Austin, Riverside, Eastview, and Rio Grande. So it was kind of a standout task for y'all that day.
Yeah, I would say probably the challenge at Hayes. That was really cool. It was sort of like a search operation with a drone, and so we had to solve these riddles and locate on the map where we wanted the drone to go search and like at what altitude and what search pattern, and that was very cool. And then we went over to the drone operator and we were like, zoom in there. It felt like in Blade Runner when he's like to enhance. Enhance. I kind of felt like that. That was very cool.
That's awesome. What about Team 9? Do y'all have a standout from that day?
Yes, my favorite was at the Rio Grande because it was sport. I knew whenever we had our boot camp, when Coach Tracy was there, I knew it was going to be some sort of sports. And I was like, I told Jackie, I was like, I could do it. I might not play sports, but I like sports. Like, I can do it. And it was really fun. I pretty much got it all from the first time. And I finished it in like, less than 5 minutes? Wow. So it was really nice.
I think my favorite one from that day was the pattern one because my designer brain came through and I was able to just have it down in like 2 tries and we were like out of there, and it was just really cool that we finally got something easier to like kind of do after so much like difficult tasks. But we really both, me and Regard, like leaned into our strengths that day about, you know, who do we feel more confident to do the challenge, and I think that's what's really good about us is being able to know and understand our strengths. So
Awesome. Cool. And then Team 10, let's bring it home and talk about the last leg of the day, which is Sunday. So that was our community partners as well as the Highland campus. Was there any standouts for you?
I enjoyed going into Austin, being at the Capitol and the library. It wasn't terribly challenging, but it was fun running around, just being in the city, because I'm not often in the city these days. At the library, you know, going in there, we were like trying to find, you know, the best strategy for getting all the tasks done quickly. And it's like, hey, let's just ask somebody. You know, it's in the rules. We can just ask the library employee. And we thought we were so clever, but I think everybody did the same thing. But yeah, we asked somebody, and they told us it was like it's 2 feet that way, so it didn't help us all that much. But it was fun thinking we were clever, even though I think everyone did the same thing.
That day, I'm not really familiar with downtown Austin, so especially the mural that we had to find, that was all him right here. He's familiar with Austin. I don't like big cities, so not terribly familiarized with it. But my favorite part of the day was probably at Highland for the riddles in the student life area, in the pantry.
The student care center?
Student care center, yeah. I always forget the name of it. That was a lot of fun. We accidentally, the lady that was checking us in asked who was going to run it before we read the card, and we said him just because we had 2 left. And then we read the card that gave us the hint of what it was, and he heard riddles and just immediately made me do it, which ended up being good. I got them a lot quicker than I expected to. And I think that gave us a good head start on the rest of it, and kind of is what sent us home, because these guys were really close behind at first place. We were only there probably a minute and a half, it felt like, before they came around running. So it was, we were sweating. It was exhausting, but I enjoyed it.
Let's talk about the pit stops now. So we had pit stops at the end of each day at the Highland campus, right? With different folks cheering you on each day. Team 9, how did it kind of feel to like have those folks cheering for you at the end of each day?
it felt really good. Me and Regatta are really influential leaders, I'd say, in student life. So just seeing everyone that we were familiar with just cheering us on regardless of our place, it was just really like I don't know, it was really inspiring and just like made me feel good, like, oh, this is my family, like just cheering us on and stuff. And it just every day it just propelled me like forward, even like if we didn't do really good on a day, like just like seeing their faces at the end of the day, it was just like that was the best part. And yeah, shout out to everyone from Student Life, Kirsten, Leela, Mona, just all of them. They were great, and it was just so amazing. It makes me so emotional that they were there, just because they're great people, and they've like helped me in regard, especially during like our academic journey. So just having them there just meant everything to me. So
Yeah, I was actually I was a little upset over the 3 days because I didn't necessarily have anyone come and hype me up from my family or friends. You know, we're a bit busy, and I was seeing like other teams have their parents show up, and I was like, you know, that's okay. I got Jackie, but also honestly, seeing the Student Life staff, that was really emotional every day because just, you know, we know all of them, and everyone was hyping us up. Everyone is so supportive. Wes is amazing. Herman is amazing. I can name all of them. It felt like a family, and I was like, here's the second family. So
Well, I'm glad that we were able to shift your mood a little bit. That's awesome. Team 10, how did it feel for y'all?
Coming into the pit stop day one, I was a little surprised because he's usually the competitive one. I'm usually more relaxed. But as we were walking up there, I'm like, we got to go. We got to run, right? And he's like, you know what? We'll get what place we got. We're just walking from here to the pit stop. Not going to change anything. And we're walking with our driver, and we kind of lock eyes from the other direction with Team 4, I think it was.
Yeah.
And we're like, and y'all are looking at Team 4, so no one even knows we're coming. And I look at eyes, I'm like, we got to dart because they're there. And so both of us start running, and we show up right behind y'all, and y'all, oh, which was just the funniest thing.
Yeah,
But we weren't expecting any of our family to be there or friends, you know, because they're all doing their own thing. But this one lady, she works for Student Life, Miss Geneva. She works down at Elgin, where I used to go to Elgin. Amazing woman of Christ. It was so awesome seeing her there. I know she works for Student Life, but like, absolutely love that woman. Seeing her at Elgin every day, she's just a joy. She does the food pantry and Student Life down there. And just seeing her holding her sign, it was like, she misspelled his name, which is funny. But like you said, it's like, even though just the fact that she's there cheering us on just means so much. Like, it's so much fun to see her. And then every day again, it was like, yeah, it's just someone who's like totally cheering us on. So yeah, that was really cool.
I'm so glad you mentioned Miss Geneva because, as you all know, we had a form out to guess like who would guess or vote for the winning who they thought was going to win, and only one person voted for y'all, and it was Miss Geneva.
Let's go.
So congratulations.
She's so
for
cool.
that.
I love her.
Yeah, so that's awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of being at the end of the pit stop, and y'all got first at every single pit stop, so you won some extra community donations. Can you speak about what y'all won at the community donations?
All right. So for the first day, we got a night down at the Lost Pines Resort, right? Yeah. I haven't been there, but his siblings used to work there. Still do?
On and off, yeah.
Okay, so they used to work there. And he's familiar with it, so I may or may not have commandeered that with agreement from him to take my girlfriend down there one day. So I'm looking forward to that. That's exciting.
What else? Did anyone else win anything that they were super excited about? Because everyone won some kind of community stuff.
We kind of already, so we actually used one of our prizes.
Nice.
I don't know if everybody got one, but we got the Andes custard.
Yeah.
And we used one the other day, and it was, we were just like, ice cream! So that one was really nice. And I plan on going, but I've never been to this fondue place. We got one of those. And
Melting pot?
Yeah, and my mom was just like, that's like super nice and stuff. And I was like, I don't know what it is, but I'm down for anything.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, those are pretty cool prizes too.
We're going to move on because I have more questions I want to ask y'all real quick. So as you know, on Sunday, Dr. Lowry Hart was there to greet y'all, our chancellor, okay? He's instilled into the college the values of courage, compassion, joy, and yes. Just real quick, is there any moments that y'all have kind of experienced throughout the race that maybe highlighted those values? I see, Jackie, you had an aha moment.
yeah, so on the last day, I sprained my ankle. And it was really hard to even make it to the pit stop. And I literally was like, I'm not going to do it. Like, I just can't. And it was Team 5, I believe. Yeah. the two girls that when we were getting to the pit stop, they wanted to pick me up and take me to the pit stop. So for a little bit, they tried to like carry me to get there because my ankle was just in so much pain. But finally, like, we just like kind of stopped because they were like, you know, getting tired too. And I just told them, like, you know, you guys just keep going. You know, I don't really like even care about like what place we're in anymore. I just want you guys to like keep going. And me and Regad got there, and I just like started like crying because I was just like, you know, like who would even do that for me, you know? And it shows a lot of that like compassion, and they really showed that like for me, and like it makes me emotional now, and even then, when I think about it, because yeah, that was a lot of compassion that I wasn't expecting, especially when this was supposed to be competitive, like when we're supposed to be winning prizes. Like it was just really unbelievable, and I'm so thankful for them. So
Cool. AJ?
I really enjoyed the connection I felt to and sense of community I felt to everyone after the race when we were all taking photos and then celebrating in student life. It felt very awesome to feel part of something because, you know, I'm usually stuck in a practice room or studying, and it felt really nice to be outside with a bunch of people from all these different campuses and just to have this enjoyable experience together. It was really awesome.
Thank you. That was definitely one of my favorite parts of the race too, just watching y'all like interact and get to know each other at the boot camps, the lunches, at the end of each day. Like it really warmed my heart, so I'm really glad that y'all like felt that as well. Okay, last question real quick. Team 10, what advice do you have for anyone who wants to apply or compete next year as winners of this year's race?
Lie, cheat, steal. No, I'm kidding. It was, I mean, I guess like the chancellor's policies, just say yes, right? I mean, there's so many things, you know, oh, we got school, we got to study, we got, you know, it's a whole weekend we have to take up so far in advance, we don't know what we're doing then. But it's just like, you know what, you know, it was easy for me because I'm just such a big fan, but it was at the same time, there are all these, you know, kind of, I don't know, just kind of unsure, but it was just so much fun. You know, I would have been so disappointed if I didn't do it, you know, just being like, oh, they had so much fun, I wish I could do stuff like that. Well, I could, I had the opportunity. And even all the thoughts like, oh, well, they might not pick me. It's just like, go for it anyway, you know? Like, you could totally get picked. You could totally do this. So don't hold yourself back, right? So if you get the opportunity, just jump at it. And then when you really get the opportunity, you know, when they sent us the email, we both just called each other like immediately when we got the email. It's like, now this is real. We're doing this. Let's go for it. You know, let's not hold anything back. We're gonna play. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna get, you know, grow closer, and we're gonna compete to win and just have an amazing time. And we did. Like, it was just the most amazing thing.
Yeah. And some other advice. When you actually get there and you're there for the first camp and all the recording and everything, and you get to meet everyone else the first time, socialize, get to know them. Because, like we said, our Team Azul, all the blue teams, love them all to death. Y'all were all fantastic. Y'all all got to go out afterwards and hang out, I think, at one of y'all's houses. Yeah. I'm really upset I had schoolwork to do. But it was absolutely worth it, and just getting to know everyone there, that's a huge part, because I mean, I came in because, oh, it'll be fun, sounds like fun, plus there are rewards, right? And I get to test myself, and then I ended up coming out with the best part of the race being the people that I met, and especially the final days with all the tension building up to it, and then just getting to student life and just everyone going crazy and talking, and it was amazing. So
give yourselves a round of applause for putting yourself out there and taking on the challenge. Thanks for joining us today to recap the incredible Amazing Race Riverbat Edition and the students involved. To learn more about the Office of Student Life at ACC and how to get involved, please visit austincc.edu/SL.